ब्राह्मण या यादव, कुर्मी या कोयरी, Mahadalits या फिर Muslim. When it comes to the Bihar elections, the biggest factor that has always dominated its politics is caste. It might not be an overstatement to say that most of Bihar's politicians are a product of caste politics. Be it Lalu Prasad from the Yadav community, Nitish Kumar from the Kurmi community, the Paswan fathers and duo from the Dusad Dalit community, or the BJP's privileged caste base. Each party or leader enjoys a kind of loyalty of its supporters and voter base, no matter who they ally with. But this time, with Lalu in jail, Nitish Kumar being the face of the NDA, and the BJP playing the second fiddle to the JDU, how will these caste dynamics decide which side wins? Before I tell you who will vote for whom in 2020, you must know कि इतनी वक्ती से सालों से वोट किया है तो अपने दम पर कोई पार्टी सरकार क्यों नहीं बना पाती? Why hasn't Bihar given a single party majority? The answer to this question lies in the distribution of voters in Bihar's population. Bihar is one of the many states which over the years has hardly had a single party majority. Why? Because no leader or party has managed to transcend their community-based vote banks. Take a look at this data. Unlike many states, there isn't one caste whose votes dominate the ballots. The privileged caste or the upper caste, as they are commonly called, like Brahmins, Bhumihars, Rajputs and Kayats, comprise of approximately 17.2% voters and traditionally vote for the BJP. The Yadavs are 14.4% and the Muslims 14.7%. Both voters have strongly supported the RJD. The Dalit community comprises 14.2% of the state's voters, which traditionally get distributed between JDU, HAM, LJP and CPI-ML. But amongst Dalits, there are the Pasi or Dusad Dalits who have supported the LJP. The Kurmis and the Koiris, both OBC castes, form over 11% of the state's voters. They traditionally vote for the JDU. You can clearly observe that almost all communities form a substantial chunk of Bihar's voters, making it almost impossible for any party to get a majority in the 243-seat assembly on its own. To come to the dynamics of the 2020 caste factor, you first need to quickly see who voted for whom in 2015. In the 2015 elections, the tables were different. The Mahagathbandhan comprised of the RJD, JDU, Congress and the VIP. The NDA comprised of the BJP, LJP, RLSP and HAM. The left parties AIMIM and BSP all fought solo. Here is a 2015 Lokniti CSDS vote share survey of different castes and communities for the two sides that had registered the Mahagathbandhan's victory. While Yadavs, Kurmis and Muslims voted for the Mahagathbandhan, the upper castes, other OBCs and Dusad Dalits voted for the NDA. The Koiris and the Mahadalits were fairly distributed between the two sides. Now, what changed in 2020? The alliances have changed this time. The Mahagathbandhan now consists of the RJD, Congress and left parties. The NDA comprises of the JDU, BJP, HAM and VIP. The BSP, AIMIM and RLSP have formed the third front and LJP is fighting solo. Now let's bring back the chart to tell you who can vote for whom this time. Upper castes may largely remain with the BJP, but due to the discontent against Nitish, some might move towards the Mahagathbandhan or the LJP. Verdict? Advantage NDA. Yadavs. Through the Parivarvad angle, the NDA has managed to dent the image of the Lalu family, so some voter base might shift from the Mahagathbandhan to the NDA, but again, not substantially. Verdict? Advantage Mahagathbandhan. Kurmis. This is Nitish Kumar's community. Irrespective of whom he allies with, Kurmis have been Nitish's loyal voter base for almost 3 decades. So if 71% of the community voted for Nitish Kumar in 2015, a majority of that chunk is expected to shift to the NDA this time. Verdict? Advantage NDA. The Koiris, a traditional JDU vote bank, but its breakaway party RLSP led by Upendra Kushwaha could make some dent into it. Some could also shift to the Mahagathbandhan due to anti-incumbency. Verdict? Even split. Dusad Dalits. Now this is going to be peculiar. The Paswans and the LJP are out of the NDA equation this time and are going solo. पर चिराग पासवान के हाथ दो तबलों पर हैं. On one hand, he is saying, छाती चीर के देखिए मोदी जी मिलेंगे. And on the other, he is expecting to get sympathy votes from LJP's loyal voter base after Ram Vilas Paswan's recent demise. So there is a chance that the community may vote for the LJP in seats it is contesting, but for the Mahagathbandhan or the NDA in other seats. Verdict: advantage LJP. Muslims have traditionally been an RJD voter base, but they could partly shift to the AIMIM in Simanchal region. Again, not much of a worry for the Mahagathbandhan. Verdict: advantage Mahagathbandhan and AIMIM. The Mahadalit and extremely backward caste voters may hold the key in this election. They have been a carefully cultivated support base of Nitish Kumar as he made them separate categories. But will he be able to retain his base? Considering these observations, if people of Bihar vote this time yet again purely on the basis of caste loyalties vis-a-vis party loyalties as they have been doing for decades, there may be an advantage for the NDA as the BJP's upper caste base, Nitish Kumar's Kurmi and EBC base with some HAM's Mahadalit votes may be a little ahead of the Mahagathbandhan's Muslim and Yadav dominated base. But there are three X factors. First is the LJP. How much will it damage the JDU and will it transfer votes to the BJP in the latter seats? But there's a second bigger factor that may trump the caste factor this time. It's the issue of jobs and unemployment that has irked the youth of Bihar. Will the youth of Bihar defy party loyalties and vote on the mudda of jobs irrespective of caste lines? Then there is the larger anti-incumbency against Nitish Kumar. As the campaign has progressed, the popularity gap between Nitish and Tejashwi has kept narrowing. The question is, has Tejashwi covered enough ground to turn the tables?